Good afternoon. Welcome to Channel 8 Sports and East Brunswick High School football. Hi, I'm John Meggiolaro with Jim Allinder and Phil Hill for today's homecoming game against Piscataway. And Jimmy, East Brunswick comes in 4-0, but I think today's game is a real test for him.
Absolutely, the vacation is over for East Brunswick. I was talking to Marcus Borden, the East Brunswick coach, about the fact that they were 4-0, and he said we haven't played anybody yet, and I'm not quite sure I believe him totally on that, but to a certain extent, it's true that they have not met the quality teams in the GMC Red Division. That's all over today, because Piscataway is by far and away the best opponent that the Bears have faced, except for a 13-0 loss to Saraville in the opening game. Piscataway has really come on strong, and I think the thing that East Brunswick has to be concerned about today is that they are matched up very well in speed. East Brunswick, of course, has Colheim, Greg Colheim, the quarterback, but they've been doing an outstanding job.
Phil, in the middle of the national anthem, this is a big game for Piscataway as well.
A very big game for Piscataway. Piscataway knows about coming in 4-0. They did that last year, ended up 3-2, so they're not concerned about the Bears coming in 4-0, but they know that if they have any chance for taking the Red Division or getting in the state tournaments, they cannot lose this game. In order to stop the Bears, what they got to do, they got to stop Greg Colheim and Simonello. And Joe Carani, the fifth-year coach, knows that, and he's going to pull out all the stops.
Well, he also has some weapons on his side of the field as well.
He has some weapons. Speed. When you think of Piscataway, you think of speed. You're talking about Dejan Welcomes, you're talking about Teron Hunter, and Rico Owens. Mr. Versatility who can do it all. East Brunswick's going to have to deal with Piscataway speed, but Piscataway is going to have to deal with the Bear speed as well.
Yeah, it should really be a good one this afternoon. It's a beautiful sunny fall October Saturday afternoon. It's homecoming. We'll be back with the start of the action in just a moment. Well, we're just about ready to kick off this homecoming day. And Jimmy and Phil, East Brunswick comes in. We haven't seen him in a couple weeks, but they beat Bishop Barr and J.P. Stevens. Stevens rather handedly.
Yeah, that was a 42-7 lead at halftime. This game today, in my estimation, I don't know how Phil agrees with me on this one, probably the most important game East Brunswick has played in about 5 years since the Brian Forte days. They have some more important games, not more important games, but they have Saraville and Woodbridge coming up. But to me, I think this is the key game for East Brunswick to springboard them to qualifying for the state playoffs, something they haven't done since '89. So we'll talk about that as this game goes on. But right now, East Brunswick, they're going to receive, and with Greg Colheim back there, he's the man.
Averaging 41 yards per return, so he is dangerous, you're right.
Colheim, number 14, he's back with Whalen, number 7. The Chiefs are in the visitors' white, black and white. East Brunswick in the home green. Homecoming day, as we mentioned several times, beautiful afternoon. High around mid-60s they're forecasting, and it looks like a good crowd coming in.
Feels like 80, John.
Yeah, it does up here. We're about ready to go. Owens will kick it off for Piscataway. Short kick.
Away from Colheim, purposely.
Ball still bounding around.
Wow.
It could be Piscataway's ball. Let's see. East Brunswick rather slow to fall on it.
It's a close one.
No. It looks like the East Brunswick guy on the right side there came out with it. Who was that, 39?
I'm not sure who came up with it, but East Brunswick rather lethargic in covering that kickoff.
It was Colheim, and look at him.
He's a little dazed, and he's down, folks.
Yeah, he took a shot right in the head.
And this is not the way Marcus Borden wants to start this game off. Greg Colheim down on the field.
Well, Jim, you pointed out correctly that they purposely kicked the ball away from Greg Colheim, and the ball sort of like a dying quail just dropped right there. And while the East Brunswick Bears were closing in on it, so was Piscataway Chiefs. And Colheim got to it, but took a shot to the head and is paying for it right now.
He's going to have to stay out at least one play. So Dave Kilkenny, number 19, is going to be the one that at least starts it off for the Bears. But we're going to have to keep an eye and see if Colheim didn't incur some sort of head injury.
They look to be applying a towel to his nose and, or at least forehead portion of his face.
And Kilkenny, while he's an adept quarterback, he hasn't had quite that much experience. you might expect him, even though this offense calls for reading, you might expect him to just test that middle by handing that ball off to Simonello.
Well, I think Greg has had his nose rearranged the way he's holding it. But I'll tell you, I talked to him this past week. He wants to have respect for his team. He'll be back.
Kilkenny hands off to Sermonello.
Look at him drag tacklers.
And Sermonello gets up close to the 30 and close to the first down.
We will set you up with the East Brunswick offense. At the tackles will be Sean Daly and Jim Oliver, Dave Hagan and Jeremy Fisher at the guards, Eric Malecki, the center. Wide receivers will be Jay Tangway, Tim Agicapatosho, Sermonello just carried the ball. Matt Kwan back there, Sabatino, and Kilkenny is currently the quarterback.
Sermonello brings it up about 9 yards, so let's call it 2nd and 1. Long count by Kilkenny. Movement in the backfield as Sabatino on the carry.
You're right, there was some movement by the
there's
and
a fumble.
They're saying Piscataway comes up with it. So 2 mistakes, Phil, early on in this game already.
Well, a change of quarterback there, but they had movement in the backfield, as you pointed out, John. That was a penalty. Then they end up losing the ball anyway. Not a good way to start the game.
Not at all.
So the Bears will go on defense on the turnover.
Okay, and with the Chiefs, you can expect a lot of motion. They admit that they can't go nose to nose with the Bears, so they're going to try to spread you out and try to get their speedsters moving through the seams.
Schultz is the quarterback, number 10. 1st and 10 for the Chiefs on the East Brunswick 30-yard line.
Smack.
Oh, mercy.
That was 61 for East Brunswick.
Hunter on the carry.
Hagan.
And I'll tell you, the Bears defense just has been tremendous all year. And they're picking up right here where they left off.
Piscataway with the no huddle right at the line of scrimmage. Hunter again on the left side. And Whalen in on the tackle, pickup of about 2.
In the games we've seen East Brunswick play, as much as they've had good offense, they've been terrific on the defense.
Quick huddle again.
Here they go. It's 3rd and about, let's call it 7. Piscataway gives it to Hunter one more time, and that's going to bring up a 4th down as he only picks up 2 more yards.
And clearly what the Chiefs are trying to do, not allow the Bears to set up in their defensive set and try to catch them off guard.
Well, they will huddle on this 4th down.
The ball is resting at the East Brunswick 26. 4th down, 4th and about 6.
Defensively for East Brunswick, Beatties and Lorenzo are the outside linebackers. Lenny May at nose guard. Tackles are Sean Daly and Dave Hagan. Jeremy Fisher, linebacker. Paul Dumas, linebacker. We'll get the secondary after this.
Okay, you might look for Rico Owens here. He's their go-to guy in a passing situation.
They have 2 men out right.
They got to get
Schultz
to the 20.
looks to his right, looking. He's being pressured. Throws it forward.
Oh,
Completes the pass. And the 1st down.
I think he went past the line of scrimmage, gentlemen.
Well, that's what they're going to say. Now, is that a loss of down, guys, when they go past the line?
It has to be, Jim.
And if it is, that was a 4th down play.
We'll see what the call is. You're right, Jim. Past the line of scrimmage.
All right, Kohlheim is up, walking around on the East Brunswick bench. We're going to keep an eye on that. And he's putting his mouthpiece in and his helmet on.
The Bears should decline. This should be their ball.
It is a loss of down, 1st down East Brunswick, so the Bears take it back over.
I'll tell you.
Nice defensive stand there.
A nice defensive stand. Schultz got away for a while, and I thought he could have picked up the 1st down and decided to shuffle pass there and didn't pick it up.
Okay, let's see. Is Kohlheim going to go in?
It looks like he's getting ready to go in.
And they're going to keep him out another series here. Cole Kenny's, Cole Kenny's running, well, do you want me in or out? But they're going to let Greg get the cobwebs out of his head for another series here.
All right, the Bears have it 1st and 10 from their own 30. We're in the 1st quarter. No score. Kilkenny again is the quarterback. Kohlheim on the sideline. Kwan hit in the backfield for a loss.
And I'll tell you, nice tackle there.
Randall Hollingsworth was back there first for Piscataway.
And you're going to see Piscataway, as I said, not a power team. Last year they had some tremendous linemen. This year they're going to have to rely on their speed.
Kohlheim still not in. He's got his helmet off again.
Loss of 2. Let's call it 2nd and 12 from the East Brunswick 28. 8:30 showing on the clock, first quarter. Kilkenny on a little counter to Quan, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up 3rd down.
Okay, and Mike Rowe, 5'8", 170 in on the tackle there.
Phil, I'm sorry, I imagine East Brunswick is purposely being conservative here, just doing basic handoffs.
They certainly don't want another turnover
Right.
here. They're being a little cautious. As I said, Kilkenny's not that used to being in there, and you can be sure what they do is going to be pretty basic.
3rd and 12. We'll see if Kilkenny puts it up in the air. He has it, rolls to his right, he's going to keep it, looks to get to the outside, does, and he's going to be close to the first down.
Had to get to the 30, and I'll tell you what, he's right there.
I'll tell you, just a fine effort by Kilkenny, and he got that first down.
Wow, important.
First down, East Brunswick. Ball will be spotted at the East Brunswick 41-yard line.
And Kilkenny's always been a fine runner, making his name on defense these days, but as you can see, if he gets an opportunity to get the ball, he can go.
Okay.
So East Brunswick picks up their first down of the game.
I was just going to say, that was an important one as well.
Haji Batosho out wide left. Kilkenny has it, goes left, steps up into the middle, and he'll pick up about 2.
Now, remember now, Kilkenny is in a situation where he has to read much the same way Colheim is. Colheim much more seasoned at the quarterback position.
And Mike Rowe again on the tackle. Again, a lineman that's only 170 pounds there, but obviously very quick. Number 60, Mike Rowe.
Let's call it 2nd and 8. The ball at the East Brunswick 43-yard line. We have no scorer. East Brunswick against Piscataway on homecoming day. 6:45 showing on the clock, first quarter. Kilkenny, quick inside handoff to Sermonello. He's got some running room.
Wow.
And he's got the first down as he crosses midfield.
I'll tell you what, that was excellent hand motion by Kilkenny. It really was nice.
Nice hand motion by Kilkenny, but Frank Sermonello has been doing the job all year, coming off a 136-yard performance against J.P. Stevens where he scored 3 touchdowns, and he's been steady all year, gentlemen.
Averaging 86.5 yards per contest.
First down, East Brunswick in Piscataway territory. Ball spotted at the Piscataway 46. So far, it's been done all on the ground. Kilkenny gives to
Counter.
Sabatino.
Nice.
First down inside
nice handoff.
the 35-yard line.
You know, give Kilkenny a lot of credit. I'll tell you what, other than that one mishap.
He's looking rather sharp, no doubt about it. And the Bears clearly mixing it up right now here, getting the Chiefs off balance there. And just tremendous reads by Kilkenny, who's not used to being in there, but doing a fine job of reading. That was a counter.
First down from Piscataway's 34-yard line. Kilkenny has receivers left and right. Gives it inside to Sermonello. No, sorry, keeps it and gets to the 30-yard line.
He had you confused, didn't he,
He
John?
did.
I'm telling you,
A
that's the
good fake
deception.
there. A good fake there.
That play was worth 5 yards.
Phil, you sense Kilkenny's getting into a rhythm
he's
here.
Getting in the rhythm here. He's a fine athlete here, and that's what it takes is you got to have the reps. You got to have the reps in order to get in the flow, and he's getting the reps right now.
Meanwhile, Colheim is recuperating on the sideline. He looks like he's ready to go.
Second down for the Bears. Kwan with the carry gets to the 25-yard line.
I tell you, Ouyang Kwan, better known as Matt, picked up some fine yards on that counter there, and the Bears are mixing it up rather nicely.
And let's give some credit to that offensive line. They seem to be making some holes for those guys.
East Brunswick will be short of the first down, so it'll bring up 3rd and about 2.
I think who gets on the scoreboard first is going to be very important.
Ball sitting at Piscataway's 25-yard line. Kilkenny calling out signals.
Whoops, there's the ball.
Ball's out, and it's recovered by Piscataway, and second time in this quarter.
And I'll tell you, turnovers is something Marcus Borden has to be concerned about. He was able to get away with a victory against Bishop Bar with 5 turnovers, had 2 turnovers against J.P. Stevens, and rather handily handled them there. You can't afford the turnovers in a game like this.
Not in this type of game.
So Sermonello's fumble gives the ball back to Piscataway. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 24. Welcome in Hunter in the backfield with Schultz. This is Welcome with the ball. He'll pick up about 3.
And Dejan Welcome is their power back. They have a guy named Dave Corson who's a fullback at 6 feet 205 pounds, but Dejan Welcome at 5'11", 175 pounds is their power back according to Karani.
We neglected to talk about the secondary for East Brunswick. That's Steve Germain, 28, Tim Agajigopatosho, 21, Kilkenny, of course, and Rich Whalen.
They gave Welcome 4 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 6 from the 29. Hunter with the ball, breaks out to the right side, but is taken down at the 30.
Good pursuit.
And then Lenny May, who came in as the leading tackler, 32 tackles, 16 solos, 16 assists, making a tackle there.
Phil, I have a feeling just based on watching these 2 series that Piscataway is not going to be able to run the ball too effectively on East Brunswick.
Well, Piscataway is going to be a team of big plays. They have the speed and whatnot. All they need is one step. If they get that step, they're going to get the big play and go. They cannot go nose to nose with East Brunswick. They cannot play power ball.
3rd down and 4 for the Chiefs. Ball sitting at their own 30-yard line. We have no score here in the first quarter inside of 3 minutes remaining. Schultz rolls to his left, being pressured. Gets it off. He's got his receiver, and I think he spun for the first down.
Oh, God.
The catch was made by Owens.
Yeah, he's got enough.
And Rico Owens is the all-purpose player for the Chiefs there. Led in a number of categories last year and came up with a big catch there.
I thought Dumas was going to get him. He had pursuit on shots, but shots got it off.
And apparently they're...
First down, Piscataway.
Okay. The chain's a little slow in moving there.
See Agajigopatosho on Owens here, one-on-one, on the low part of the screen.
Ball sitting at the Piscataway 35-yard line. Looks like offsides, no flag.
Good.
Ooh,
Hunter is stopped in the backfield.
Who is that?
28, I think that was Germain.
88.
88?
Lenny May.
Lenny May, okay.
I'll tell you, what a tackle. What a tackle, and that's the way you want to do it. A textbook, he came in low and subbed him. Squared the shoulders.
Loss of about 3 yards.
Now, as we mentioned, East Brunswick is averaging 38 points a game, but throughout all these scoring exploits, you look on the other side of the ball, and this East Brunswick defense has been outstanding.
They've only allowed 39 yards per game, rushing average.
With that loss, it makes it 2nd and 13 from the 31. Schultz looking, pressured again. He's going to drop for a loss.
Oh, Hagen.
Hagen was first one there, but there was a host of East Brunswick tacklers.
Hagen and the crew.
Well, even though East Brunswick's offense may be misfiring, this defense is not, as it continually pushes Piscataway backward into their own territory with 1:40 left in the first quarter.
And Paul Dumas looking to the sidelines to get the defensive signals, and the Bears' defense has been ferocious.
And Kohlheim's going to put his helmet on. I imagine he's going to be returning the punt if East Brunswick is successful on this 3rd down.
3rd and 20 for Piscataway. Ball at their own 25. As I said, they've been moving backwards the last 3 plays. Schultz drops straight back. Looks like a screen setting up, and he overthrows his intended receiver. Welcome.
I'll tell you what, though, give credit to May and Germain for causing disruption to that screen developing. Shots never really got up and pass off.
Never really got set up, and they had some players, they had some guys out front there, so if the receiver could have got the ball, they could have picked up some good yards there. You're right, give those young men credit.
So East Brunswick will receive the punt, or at least await the punt, and Kohlheim is back in, number 14,
and he's
with Whalen.
Clapping his hands and ready to go.
He's dangerous. He runs kickoffs back for touchdowns,
now
punts.
Schultz is also their punter as he goes into punt formation. High snap. Gets it off, a short kick. Fair catch called by Whalen, just short of midfield.
Good decision there.
So East Brunswick will have good field position as they start on offense.
And Greg will remain in this time. Guys, 2 turnovers. East Brunswick's dodged the bullets both times. I kind of like what I see.
Well, if you're the Bears, first of all, you know you can move the ball on this team. You didn't have your main man in, and now he's coming back. You got to be feeling rather confident.
So Greg Kohlheim is back in the game at quarterback. East Brunswick has it 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Sermonello with the ball, and he'll fall forward for about 2 yards.
And David Corson in on the tackle. Inside linebacker.
Clock ticking down to about 40 seconds left in this first quarter. We have no score, East Brunswick Piscataway, on a beautiful fall afternoon at East Brunswick High School. Colheim looking over the defense. Gives the ball, keeps it, pulls it out. He's got the left corner. If he can put it on, he does.
Good.
It's a
Look
foot
at
race.
this. Look at that speed.
Well, not quite all the way.
Taken out inside the 10.
I mean, he just took that ball right out of Quan's hands.
And the main thing that Joe Karani feared, he said, if we're to stay in this game here, we have to control Sermonello and we have to control Greg Colheim. Has had his outside linebackers and defensive backs preparing all week. They had an extra week to prepare, but Colheim took off there.
That run was some 40 yards, good for the first down. More importantly, it puts the ball at the Piscataway 12-yard line. 1st and 10, East Brunswick.
Boy, can Greg run.
Sermonello takes the ball, but there's a flag on the play.
Well, he can run, no doubt about it.
Run fast.
I tell you, we've seen some quarterbacks here. When you think of East Brunswick, you think of passing quarterbacks. But as far as running, you got to think about Dave Wohl. I think Dave Wohl was probably one of the finest running and passing quarterbacks that you ever could see. But as far as running, I think Colheim can match him.
I think Colheim breaks new ground. I really do.
Flag on East Brunswick, a procedure call to move East Brunswick back. It'll be 1st and 15, and the ball now spotted at the 17-yard line of Piscataway. Colheim on a long count. Gives it to the second back through. That's Quan. Quan will pick up a couple.
Well, I'm watching Piscataway's line. I'm waiting for them to put 10 men on the front on, see what they can do to stop this.
Well, they know that basically the Bears 90% of the time are going to come at you with the run there, come after you with your options. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for that option, and they're going to try to stop something here.
So the first quarter is in the books. East Brunswick Piscataway, no score, but East Brunswick certainly knocking on the door as they'll have it 2nd and 12 on the Piscataway 14-yard line.
Well, despite the Bears being the highest scoring team in Middlesex County, I don't think we had any pretense about what they would be doing. They just want to get points on and let the defense go to work. Colheim off that 40-yard run. It's good to see that he recovered from that injury.
He smarted as he took a blow to the nose there, and that had to shake him up a little bit, but he seems to be back in form here. And Colheim's just a tough kid, Jim. I know you did a story on him this week, and interesting young man.
He is very interesting. He feels, and I think it's natural for a young man to feel this way, especially East Brunswick, but he feels the team doesn't get a lot of respect from outside the county. And he was talking about going over to Saraville, walking into a store, and somebody recognized him over there and said, "We're going to beat you, and we're going to beat you bad."
Well, I'll tell you what, the playing field has been level with the injury of Bilal King for Saraville,
right,
and the cloak of invincibility taken off Old Bridge. If East Brunswick can win this game, they'll be right in the thick of things.
Right.
Matter of fact, they'll be ahead of things.
The cloak of invincibility that Old Bridge lost was a 10-10 tie to
right.
Bishop Barr, who East Brunswick beat 13-7. You know, the Trojans, they're not that bad of a team. They really had they played East Brunswick very, very well when we saw them 2 weeks ago, and the fact that they tied Old Bridge, you know, they're just a little bit below most of these Red Division teams, but give them some time.
Ashantino will have them there. You're right. I think this is Jade Tangway territory here. We haven't heard much of Jade. Jade comes in the game with 3 receptions thus far this year, and I think we're used to seeing something happen with him right down here.
You're right. I think you got it right there, Phil.
2nd and 12. Colheim keeps looking for some running room, steps up, and picks up maybe a couple.
Jade came back to do sort of a crackback block there to see if they could get Colheim to the outside. I think
well, he's going up against Hunter.
And Hunter's a fine athlete. Certainly can match Tangway with speed.
Well, Kilkenny will come in and Quan will come out on 3rd and 10.
Right, they need to get to the 2-yard line to get a first down.
Well, this is interesting. Kilkenny spread out to the right. along with Tangway.
Yeah.
2 receivers to the right.
Right.
2 backs in the backfield for Kolheim.
Owens would
He
be
looks
on
to the right, plants, looking, fires into the end zone. Intercepted.
Yeah,
Wow.
you can see that happening.
The interception by number 9 for Piscataway, Chris Young.
And he was looking for Jade Tangway and
I think he was looking too long, Phil.
looking too long. And passing has not been one of Kolheim's suit this year.
Right.
Hasn't passed that much, Jim. I think about 9 times, about
12 times, if I think.
about 12 times.
Third turnover for East Brunswick.
And we talked about those turnovers.
26 times they've passed it, and he's completed 9 already.
Well, Piscataway dodges a proverbial bullet once again.
And East Brunswick loses the opportunity.
So the Chiefs will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20. No score here. East Brunswick and Piscataway. Second quarter action.
That's a
Ball's
ball.
on the ground. East Brunswick should have it. Oh, it's still free. We'll see.
No.
2 Bears missed it, and Piscataway fell on it.
Well,
amazing. I don't know how. Lenny May caused that fumble right there.
That's what he did.
And a lot of Bear players around it, and somehow Piscataway came back up with it.
There's that defense in the backfield.
But if you look at any time the Chiefs hand off the ball, the Bears are right on them. Awfully aggressive.
Well, I think so far Piscataway's linemen are getting beat.
A loss of 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 13 from the 17-yard line.
And if the Chiefs are going to do something, they're going to have to try a counter play, a misdirection.
Owens is wide right for Piscataway. Schultz calling signals. Still ball's on the ground once again.
Who's got it this time?
Fumble recovered by Piscataway again.
Nope, 3rd down. Yep.
I'll tell you, young Schultz is having a tough time. And Schultz, this is not the same Schultz we saw last year. This is his younger brother. Last year was Jason Schultz, who was the quarterback. This is Jamie Schultz, and they had a brother in 1986 who was Jackie Schultz. And the Chiefs are calling timeout.
Yes, they are. Now Caroli has to do something here because I'll tell you what, they're getting beat off the ball every single time, and that's what's causing those fumbles. We mentioned Greg Kolheim's passing. He's 9 for 26 this year for 101 yards, which is, considering 4 games, that's not a lot of throwing, guys.
It's not a lot of throwing because they haven't had to throw a lot, Jim, in the first 4 games. I think when they get down to the next few games, when you get down to the Wood Bridges, the old bridges in the Cerebral, they're going to have to develop a little more balance there, and they're going to have to get that passing game going.
Well, more importantly right now is this 3rd down. They need to stop Piscataway and get the ball in good field position again.
Well, Piscataway will be facing a 3rd and 15 from their own 15-yard line. And they have not had good field position at all. And you couple that with the tenacious defense of East Brunswick, and they're having their hands full this afternoon.
And you might see the Chiefs, it would be very dangerous down in this territory here, but they got to do something to offset the Bears' pressure there. If they try a screen down here, it certainly could backfire, but they don't have too much else that can go for them with the type of pressure the Bears have placed on them.
Not much of a choice, Phil, you're right.
It might be simply get Enrico Owens' arm on a short pass and let him go.
Owens wide to the right, Young to the left. Schultz hands off to Hunter. Hunter trying to get out to the outside. Is dropped short of the 1st down.
Well, I'll tell you what, Piscataway's lineman there got away with a pull down on one East Brunswick player. I thought that play could have gone back.
So it'll bring up 4th down for Piscataway.
I'll tell you, they're trying to sweep there. Looks sort of safe there. Karani didn't want to turn the ball over again. Was hoping just to bust something here. It didn't quite happen. 4th down, they got a kick.
And does Kolheim realize that he's supposed to be in? No, okay.
I think they're keeping him out.
They're putting Tangway in at deep back.
Tangway and Whalen are back for East Brunswick to receive the punt.
He's got an ice bag on his nose. I imagine it's swelling right now. Here they come.
Pressure gets the punt off. The kick will be short and will kick back East Brunswick's way. And East Brunswick will have the ball at the Piscataway 35-yard line or thereabouts.
That ball will net about 10 yards.
And you're right, John, with super field position here.
Now, Bears need to get the ball into the end zone quickest way possible, and that's Greg Kolheim taking it in. He needs to break one.
Ball resting just shy of the Piscataway 35. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bears. We have no score, 2nd quarter action. 9 minutes remaining before halftime. Kolheim calling signals. Gives it inside to, I believe that's Sabatino. Sabatino picks up a couple. Bring up second down.
He gets 3.
And Jim, you pointed out they got to do something. I don't know if they have to do it right away, but the point of the matter on this series here, you certainly want to come away with a score of some sort.
Yeah, well, Piscataway is so explosive. They're a quick strike offense that you want to get some points on the board.
2nd and 8. Kolheim gives it the second back. That's Sabatino. He's met right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up a 3rd down play.
Well, the only thing I can think with those consecutive calls there, they're bringing them in. They're bringing them in to do something to the outside here.
Could be.
You got to believe it's going to be a play action.
Well, I know that
pass.
I've been watching Kolheim. He's been very successful with Tangway, as you see coming out to the right side here on that end zone pass. And it could be seeing, but those are such good athletes for Piscataway.
Kolheim gives inside to Quan. Quan's still on his feet.
Wow.
As he gets to the 30-yard line, but he'll be short of the first down.
Nice effort by Matt Quan there.
Brings up 4th down. What do you do?
Oh, they go for it.
4th and about 5.
We know what East Brunswick has done in years gone by.
And they're going to take a timeout.
I don't know. We don't know.
What are you saying?
Well, I'm just talking about the toe. They've always had somebody to.
Well, we're talking a 47-yarder on this one.
Yeah, well, we've seen that too.
Yeah, we did see Josh Miller connect on one year. But no, Chris Beatty's, as good as he's been on extra points, has not been successful on the field goal route. I know he missed one of about 37 yards against Bishop R. And but when you have the weapons that East Brunswick has, this is a no-brainer right here. They got about 5 yards to go, a little under 5 yards. Phil, you've been mentioning that they've been rather conservative going inside the line. They could be trying to draw Piscataway out.
But again, let's go back to the offense itself. When we say rather conservative going inside the line, if in fact they're running their true offense, it's a matter of the read. And if it appears to be there, they're giving up the ball to the inside runners. If not, then Kolheim is keeping. And you got to believe that's what's got them here thus far. They may stick with that. The simple read, we're only talking about 5 yards here. They want that first down.
Well, they look like they have their run offense in. Kolheim on 4th down. Gives it to Sermonello. No, I'm sorry, keeps it himself. He'll be close.
He's awfully close.
He's going to be short.
And Sabatino comes up limping.
It all depends on where they mark this ball.
And Sabatino's down.
I think he's short.
Mark Sabatino, as you see him on the field there, and he's down on the field. And I don't know if he got stepped on or what, but he came out of that pile limping.
The ball will go over to Piscataway on that play.
I wonder if Kolheim had a presence of where he needed to get to the yard marker to get that first down.
I think he did by the effort there. You just got to give the Chiefs some credit there. Again, they can't go nose to nose, but they'll make up with what they lack in power with their speed, with their pursuit coming to the ball.
I think Sabatino's going to gingerly walk off the field.
I'd like to see that. Nice hand from the crowd here.
Still, East Brunswick loses another opportunity deep in Piscataway territory.
We have 7:20 showing on the clock before halftime. No score, East Brunswick Piscataway.
And it'd be interesting to see if Schultz comes out passing.
The Chiefs have it 1st and 10 from their own 21.
What happened there?
A little mix-up between center and quarterback.
I'll tell you, if I'm Joe Karani, I may waste a timeout to say, what the heck's going on? We just had a timeout to try to clean this up, but too many mishandles between center and quarterback, and you don't want to lose it right down in his territory. 2 yards shy of the red zone here, so they got to get it together.
So it's going to be a 2nd and 14. It looks like a loss of 4 or 5 on that one. tell you what, if the East Brunswick offense isn't successful, East Brunswick defense is pushing them back.
So it's 2nd and 15. Again, Piscataway moving backwards on offense. Schultz, hands off this time.
Great
Nowhere
pursuit.
to go by Hunter.
Great pursuit by the center of that line.
I'll tell you, just tremendous job.
I'll tell you what's impressive about this defense. Piscataway isn't even getting a chance to set up. They are playing inspirational football thus far.
I'll tell you, Nick Spadavino and his defensive crew have done a wonderful job with this team defensively.
So it brings up 3rd and 17, now from the 19. This drive started for Piscataway on their own 21.
Another key play.
Schultz looking quick to the outside for Owens. Ball is up and caught by Owens. It's a foot race now. No one's going to catch him.
No one.
Aji Batosho went for the interception. Owens made the catch rather and took it right down the sideline.
And Rico Owens, we talked about it earlier. He's the Mr. Versatility, Mr. Big Play man. He waited for that ball, timed it, as you pointed out. Aji Batosho went for the interception.
81 yards.
The one mistake that East Brunswick did not want to make was overplaying on the receiver, and that's what happened.
So Piscataway gets on the board first this afternoon.
And it really wasn't so much an offensive effort by Owens. It's just that Timmy Ajigopatosho just misjudged that ball. He could have easily made the tackle, and it would have not even been a first down.
So for the extra point, Hollingsworth. Kick is up, and it's good. So Piscataway takes a 7-0 lead with 5:33 remaining in the second quarter.
And there's still plenty of time, gentlemen. The point we talk about is Piscataway is a big play team. That's all they can muddle around and all of a sudden break a big one. Rico Owens, again, Mr. Versatility, came in from last year, had 517 all-purpose yards, 381 rushing, 132 receiving, and had a few kickoff returns as well. So when in doubt, go to Mr. Owens.
Well, Phil, if you look at the East Brunswick offense, though, however, the only big play they've had is Greg Kohlheim's run of some 40 yards. A little lethargic.
Yeah, the defense has certainly done its job, and just that one play right there is...
Well, the defense has done its job, and the offense really hasn't done that bad of a job. They certainly have outplayed Piscataway offensively. They've moved the ball up and down the field. They just can't get it into the end zone because of the turnovers.
So the Bears will receive the kickoff.
All right, so 5:33 left. Plenty of time to get on the board, and I think that East Brunswick needs to respond here.
Owens will kick it off. Let's see if they put it deep or they kind of pooch it.
You remember the last time they kicked away from Kohlheim?
And East Brunswick was a little slow jumping on that ball. Let's see what they do this time. Owens, same kind of tactic.
Wow.
This time to Kwando, right at the 35-yard line. And Quan will go right down at about the 37.
And as much as that's good field position for East Brunswick, it certainly prevents Kohlheim from taking it all the way.
I'll tell you, that's what you call fear or respect. They respect them that much that they're willing to give that type of field position rather than risk Kohlheim breaking one.
So the Bears go on offense, 1st and 10 from their own 38. Ricky Johnson checks in for the Bears, number 6. He's in the backfield, probably for Sabatino. Kohlheim gives it to Johnson. Johnson dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
He was whacked.
I'll tell you, Ricky was nailed. And I'll tell you, number 40 on the tackle, that's Dave Corson in on the tackle. Ricky Johnson coming off a big game for himself against J.P. Stevens, 45 yards, and he scored a touchdown there, but he was nailed that time.
Can't tell you how important this game is for both teams. There's going to be a tremendous amount of power points available.
Kohlheim looking to pass, a little screen out to the outside, looking for Kilkenny. The ball low and really uncatchable. So it'll bring up 3rd down.
And Kilkenny's a little upset.
Well, I think Greg had a little more time than he thought, Phil, to get that ball out there.
He certainly did. And Kilkenny was ready to go. That's why he's a little angry. And Kilkenny also thought he could have caught it despite how low it was.
3rd and 11 from the Piscataway 37-yard line. Bears trailing 7-0. Colheim looking down the field. He's got a man open. Tangway at midfield.
And
first down, East Brunswick.
Jade had the right idea. He knew exactly where he had to make that cut, right past the first down marker.
And that's good to see because, again, Jade's a team player. They're 4-0. He's going to do whatever. He's one of the leaders and so forth. But if it was another young man, he'd be concerned about his catches at this point in time. He's a leader.
Also, Phil, you like to see that kind of play. My guess is it's there all afternoon if they want it. First down, East Brunswick from the 49-yard line of Piscataway. As Colheim gives it to second back through, Quan.
It's about 2. And 4 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Achigo Batosho comes in now, Tangway out.
You got to wonder why they don't have them both in at the same time. If in fact
it's the
rotation,
rotation.
Passing situation.
It's the rotation on the play calling.
2nd and 8. Colheim. Inside handoff.
Wow.
Sermonello. And not much there, quite honestly.
I'll tell you,
about 2.
Chiefs defense is getting a lot tougher. Seems as the game goes on, they're getting tougher. Dejan Welcomes, one of the inside linebackers there, making the fine stop.
Well, Phil, I think what really has made things somewhat easier for Piscataway is that the reads that Colheim has been making has to give the ball off, and he has very few times has he carried it himself, and that's when East Brunswick's most dangerous.
3rd and 7. Big play for East Brunswick. Colheim keeps, rolls to his right, looks, pointing, puts the ball down deep. Tangway all by himself. All by himself. Touchdown, East Brunswick.
And that's Jay Tangway and that's Greg Colheim together. The threat of Colheim running is what got Tangway open.
Well, I'll tell you, the poise, we've talked about Colheim's passing, but for him to stand back there and point to where he wanted Tangway to go and for Tangway to get there and for him to hit him on the money, just a beautiful play.
What do we got for yards on that, guys? 46 yards?
47 yards.
Okay.
Bettis now for the extra point to tie this game up.
Important extra point.
Klein will hold. Good snap. Bettis puts it through, and we're tied at 7 with 3:02 remaining before halftime.
I kind of thought it was important for East Brunswick to respond quickly on that one. And again, Greg Colheim rolling out. I think the defensive backs bid on that, and that's what caused Tangway to set loose.
Well, they bid on it, but it's as poised as we've seen Greg Colheim look in a passing situation. I mean, he rolled out. Clearly, he did have some time, shuffled it, set his feet up, pointed to where he wanted Tangway to go. Tangway went there, and he put the ball right there with a nice touch as well.
And that is going to probably cause some more consternation for Piscataway because they have purposely been coming up to the line on a lot of those plays. Now they're going to have to think more about the passing combination. And by the way, Saraville coach Sal Mastretta and Bob DeMarco from Old Bridge have a lot to think about on that one too.
They are here. They are here checking out things.
Very nice response by East Brunswick, and it puts it back into the defensive's hands, and the defense has responded very nicely this afternoon.
All right, Bettis will kick it off for the Bears. Hunter and Owens back for Piscataway. Good high kick. This is going to be Owens.
Who wants it?
No, they gave it to Hunter. And Hunter is stuffed at the 20-yard line.
Swarmed under. Hunter and Owens battling to see who gets the ball themselves. Hunter ended up with it and probably wish Owens got it.
That was super coverage by the Jesse James gang.
So really no field position at all this afternoon for Piscataway, and again, they start deep in their own territory.
All right, Bears have used one timeout, so they have 2 left. And I know they're going to probably be clock watching if they can stop Piscataway here.
2:40 remaining before halftime. We're tied at 7, 1st and 10 for the Chiefs at their own 20-yard line. Shawls hands off to Hunter.
Good tackle by May.
There looked to be a hole, but Lenny May stuffed it right away.
What a leader Lenny May has been this year. Anytime the ball goes down, he's around the ball there.
Hunter's coming off limping.
That's that shoestring tackle by May. Might have twisted Terhun's ankle.
Pickup of maybe one. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Ball just across the 20-yard line of Piscataway.
I think that's a hit for Piscataway's offense with Hunter leaving.
Scholes, a little counter move inside. Welcome gets across the 25 to the 26.
Big third down play coming.
I'll tell you.
Should you call timeout, Phil?
Fine run there. I don't think they will. I think they're just going to move it down as quickly as they can and see if they can get something. I think after this play they may, Jim. I think they want to see if they can get that first down right here. They are.
Well, there's going to be about 40 seconds knocked off the clock because they didn't take a timeout. They had 2 left.
Seems like they're wasting an awful lot of amount of time. You're right.
3rd and 4 for Piscataway. 1:27 showing on the clock. Clock is ticking. Piscataway going out to the outside.
They got him. Timeout right now.
That was Wilson on the carry.
And I tell you, Jim, that's what Piscataway was thinking. If we didn't pick up this first down, we don't want to give the Bears the ball back with an excessive amount of time on it.
Timeout East Brunswick with 1:13 showing.
And they do have 1 left now, so in retrospect, probably was the better decision. And the Bears will probably get the ball back in good field position now.
Piscataway looking at a 4th and 3. Ball sitting on their own 28-yard line. We're tied at 7. East Brunswick has 1 timeout remaining as the clock shows 1:13. We mentioned it's homecoming this afternoon, and typical with that event, there'll be some ceremonies and festivities, and we'll give you some information, and we'll also be showing that to you during halftime.
And if you're the Bears, you don't want to lose sight of the fact that Schultz is the punter as well.
Right.
And the punter is also the passer. It might be a little crazy down here, but I've seen crazier things.
Yeah, you got 3 blocking backs there. You got to watch, keep your eyes on those guys.
Tangway and Whalen back deep, high snap. Schultz does punt it, short kick.
Let it go.
Fielded by Whalen inside the 50. And so East Brunswick will have it in Piscataway territory with 1:05 on the clock and 1 timeout.
And they need to be on the line, ready to go here. With 1:05, time is the essence.
And I tell you, you like to have a young man like Whalen on the field there. Rather heady young player, solid, good hands, and dependable.
Clock does not start.
Not until the snap.
Okay. I'm learning this game.
Okay, I'd look for Achi Batosho here.
He's wide left, 2 receivers to the right, Kilkenny and Tangway. Colheim gives it inside to Sermonello. Sermonello fights for about 3 yards, 4 yards. East Brunswick will get up on the ball as the clock is down to 53 seconds.
Sermonello did get 4 yards, but short pickups are not what the Bears want at this point.
Clock still moving.
And they're huddling up here, which
40 seconds showing. 2 receivers again to the right. Colheim rolls to his right, being pressured, steps up, throws it down deep.
There's
Middle.
Tangway.
Tangway again by
Wow.
himself. Touchdown, East Brunswick.
Mercy, mercy, mercy.
how did Piscataway allow that to happen?
Split 2 defenders for the reception and the score. And East Brunswick on top 13-7.
And Tangway, look at the leader and type of player he is. He scored the touchdown, and he's worried about the Piscataway player that's injured down there.
That's Kilkenny, Phil, down there.
Kilkenny, rather. I'll tell you, Greg Colheim again, scrambling a little bit, pointing once again, and coming up with a big pass here. So all the questions about the passing game for the Bears seem to have been answered right now.
I think as much Piscataway has been really been negligent as far as their coverage is concerned. How do you let somebody like that open in the middle, especially with this time left? But the Bears will take it.
Well, I think what's happening, Jimmy, is they're playing zone back there, and Tangway's just splitting the zone, and no one knows who to pick them up.
Right in the seam.
All right, again, another important.
Bettis on for the extra point. Klein will put it down. The kick is up. It looks good. And the Bears go on top 14-7 with 26 seconds remaining before halftime.
And a nice response by the East Brunswick offense to the short-lived 7-0 lead by Piscataway. And it's got to give them a good feeling going into halftime.
It's got to give them a good feeling. You make a good point. Jim, I was prepared to talk and a half about the job Piscataway has done defensively. We didn't expect too much out of them. And then they let two big plays really kill them. Their pass defense has not done the job. Gray Kohlheim rolling out, getting some extra time for himself, and when he does that, you see how dangerous he can be.
Well, it's we've had a chance to watch this team play. It's sort of developed in the first 4 games, and I'm as excited about this team as I've been in a long time about an East Brunswick team. Their firepower. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen a runner with Kohlheim's ability in quite a long time, Phil. Really, he's something to behold.
He's something. As I said, Dave Wohl, I think, is the last one I've seen for the Bears that could run like that.
Well, what impresses me is the speed that his quick acceleration. Acceleration is just something.
But today he's doing it with his arm, as he has 2 scores to Tangway to put East Brunswick on top 14-7. Bettis hits a line drive.
It's a good kick.
Ball bounding around, finally picked up by Piscataway at the 15-yard line. And that was Braxton with the carry.
Right, Lorenzo was the first one down there and caused him to go to the right side, and then the rest of the team took care of it.
Jason Brenner, give him some credit there too. Jason Brenner coming down with the tackle, number 42.
So Piscataway will have it 1st and 10 from their own 22, 19 seconds remaining.
Well, I imagine the East Brunswick deep backs are not going to be biting for an interception. As a matter of fact, the clock is going to roll here. I think Piscataway is going to let it go. Or are they?
They may get one off before that 7-second showing. Schultz not in any rush to do anything, and that'll do it. It's halftime. And so here on homecoming day, the Bears come back from a 7-0 deficit to take the lead 14-7 in what's proved to be an excellent defensive game that is for East Brunswick, and an offense that's showing some firepower.
And I don't remember the last time I've seen a East Brunswick crowd stand on their feet at the end of the half and clap for a team.
Exactly.
So they really appreciate the effort that the Bears have given this half.
They really have. But there's one more half to go here, guys, so can't get too comfortable. But again, I really like what I see so far.
Well, it's halftime, and more importantly, it's homecoming. And before we take our little break, we wanted to mention and share with you that this year's queen is Lydia Hamza, and this year's king is Dan Kessler. The junior attendant is MJ Catcher, and the sophomore attendant is Kelly Free. And to those young people, we offer our congratulations. They're going to have a great afternoon, I'm sure, and even a better evening. And so we'll take a little break, but Channel 8 will continue to show you the halftime festivities here on homecoming.
a nice round of applause for the East Brunswick Marching Band, led on the field by drum majors Kristen Foley and Nancy Chakis. Outstanding. Would ask you to focus your attention at the 50-yard line on the track, where the Student Council President, Mr. Ron Larson, will now begin the homecoming.
Welcome to the 1994 East Brunswick High School homecoming festivities. You can never go home again. This statement by Thomas Wolfe bothers me deeply because I know, for me, it is just not true. In the coming years, my classmates and I will be going out on our own to start new lives. But I know wherever we go and whatever we do, each one of us will always think of East Brunswick as the place we call home. The people and events we have been a part of here has shaped who we are and who we will become. Things, of course, are going to change for both us and the town we call East Brunswick. We may think that these changes will mean that maybe this place isn't our home anymore. But we will be wrong. There will always be a place for us to call home and return to, and it will be right here at this high school. Whether it's 2 years from now on a break from college, or 10 years from now on a visit back to see your old house. So to all the alumni sitting in the bleachers here, I say welcome home. It is good to see you. Homecoming is a time to remember and celebrate the past, while also looking forward at the present and eagerly focusing on what lies ahead in the future. Let everybody today know that whatever the present and future hold, the past, this town, will always embody where you came from and where you can always go. I sincerely welcome all the alumni, students, staff, and fans here today home. Let's all enjoy the game and the spirit of the day. Now I'd like to introduce the sophomore attendant, Kelly Free, accompanied by her father. Let's hear a big hand for Kelly and her father. I now like to introduce the junior attendant, MJ Kocher. Escorted by her father. Give a big hand for MJ and her father. I would now like to introduce the Senior Queen and the Senior King. Senior Queen Lydia Hamza, accompanied by her father, and Senior King Daniel Kessler, accompanied by his mother. Let's hear a big hand for Dan and Lydia. Seniors, I think we could do better than that. They are our king and queen. Let's hear it one more time.
Hey, someone wake this guy up if he's sleeping on this game. There he goes. All right, he's up. He's ready for the second half, and we're ready for the second half action here at East Brunswick High School. The Bears on top 14-7. And Jimmy, you have some stats for us.
Right, East Brunswick scoring both its touchdowns in the second period on Jade Tangway touchdown catches from Kolheim, one going for 47 yards at 3:02. That had tied the score. Piscataway earlier had an 81 touch-yard pass from Schatz to Owens to give them a 7-0 lead. And then Kolheim connected again with Tangway with just 26 seconds left to make the score 14-7, which it is now. Now Kolheim, despite only 2 rushes, leads East Brunswick with 42 yards. Sermonello has 5 carries for 19 yards. Matt Kwan has the most carries, 6 carries, but he has 12 yards. Sabatino has 3 carries for 20 yards, and Dave Kilkenny, who came in nice to perform nicely at quarterback for the first 3 series when Kolheim went down with an injury, he has 3 carries for 17 yards. In the passing department, Kolheim 3 for 5, all 3 catches by Jade Tangway for a total of 57 yards, and that's where we stand. East Brunswick 3 turnovers, guys.
Phil, when you look at Piscataway, they had it tough the first half, particularly on offense. What do you expect them to come out and try to do?
I'll tell you, they got to try something a little different. They may go back to the basics and hoping that they can get the running game going, but if the Bears continue with the type of defensive pressures that they've placed on Piscataway, it's going to be a long second half as well. All Piscataway can do is keep hitting the wall and hoping maybe to break the big one. They have the ability certainly to do that, but like I said, if the Bears are playing their game, it's going to be very difficult.
Well, aside for that touchdown by Owens, which was really kind of freakish.
It's kind of an aberration of what we've seen, huh?
That the East Brunswick defense has just stopped them cold in every aspect of their offense.
Yeah, that gives you a lot to look forward to, or a lot of inspiration for East Brunswick. But we were talking about those 2 touchdown passes by Greg Kolheim, and my thought is that since Greg is such a good running threat, that it was maybe just enough to get Tangway open. So Kolheim, with his good vision, he's good size, he's about 6'3", 6'4", and he was able to see that receiver and laid the pass out nicely both times.
I'll tell you have to wonder about Marcus Borden, whether he really was holding on to this passing game. Of course, he didn't need it the first 4 games and was saving it for the right time. If so, a stroke of genius.
Well, Bettis will kick it off for the Bears to start this second half. Piscataway will receive. They have Hunter and Owens back deep. Bettis, another line drive kick.
That's what you want to do.
Will pick it up at the 15-yard line. And it drops Kilkenny and Johnson right there, 2 of them.
I'll tell you, Ricky Johnson and Dave Kilkenny teaming up to sandwich the would-be runner. And I'll tell you, you got to talk about the coaching of these teams. A guy by the name of Neil Costantino has told me about the 8th grade and 9th grade coaching staff. And when you put that together with the coaching staff they have here, you know your kids are being taught well just by the tackling that takes on place there.
1st and 10 for Piscataway from their own 25-yard line. They trail 14-7 as we start this third quarter. They come out in an I formation. And inside handoff will go to Welcome, and that's about it. He may get to the line of scrimmage.
4 tacklers for East Brunswick, led by Paul Dumas, number 50. 61 Hagan was there.
Whalen, number 7, and number 26, Chris Bettis.
I'll tell you who really has impressed me so far is Sean Daly. He has been beating his man off the line the entire game.
Well, Sean Daly loves beating people. An outstanding wrestler, probably a state champion next year possibly.
Well, that's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot, but he has that type of potential.
2nd down for Piscataway. Let's call it 10 yards. Schultz still has it on a little option, and Lenny May takes him right down at the line of scrimmage.
He came right up to meet that one.
And if you're Piscataway Chiefs, you may want to holler Mayday, Mayday, because Lenny May is still on the job on the Chiefs right now.
Okay.
Everywhere.
I was wondering what you were doing this week.
Hey, I tell you, someone get the hook for that guy down there. He thinks this is ESPN.
Don't quit my daytime job.
Yeah, don't give that up.
Well, I got a good lead for my next story anyway.
Well, Schultz picks up 1, so it's 3rd and 9. Ball sitting at the Piscataway 26, and they've been in a lot of long 3rd down situations this afternoon. They have 2 receivers wide right. Schultz drops straight back, has some time, looks over the middle, he's got a man wide open, and it's a foot race now. Whalen after him.
He's not trying to angle him down.
Kilkenny comes over, and they finally make the stop. The reception was made by number 8.
I'll tell you.
And we don't have a name on that young man.
Let's see if we can find him. Number 8.
I'm sorry, it's number 9. It was Chris Young.
Right. And I tell you, this young man was going all the way.
Whalen angled him off.
Angle of pursuit.
Yep.
One of the first things you learn, angle of pursuit, to cut him off at the pass. Young fella saw he was going to be cut off, tried to cut back in and got tackled.
Well, no doubt biggest offensive play for Piscataway, other than the touchdown. So they have it 1st and 10 in East Brunswick territory at the East Brunswick 25. Schultz on a little counter to Hunter.
Ooh, he's got
Hunter's
room.
got some room on the left side. He's got the 1st down. And Phil, a different Piscataway offense.
A different Piscataway offense, and what I think it has to do is the offensive line. The offensive line seems to be asserting himself a little bit. They haven't changed anything. They've come out with the same basic plays, and they seem to be getting off the ball a lot quicker.
Piscataway will have it 1st and 10 from about the 12-yard line. They can get a 1st down without scoring. They trail 14-7. Schultz gives it to Hunter, right side. Hunter spins, and it's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage.
That's May again.
Lenny May once again.
Boy, he really has been a force, hasn't he?
Wow.
2nd down.
Coming into this game, it was May that was leading East Brunswick in tackling with 32. 16 solo and 16 assists, and he's picking it up right where he left off.
We'll call it 2nd and 10.
Passing situation, Phil?
They got it going on the ground. I don't know, Jim.
Schultz still has it, gives it to Hunter very late.
Hagan
and Hunter's
in there.
lost.
First one,
He's tackled
Hagan.
for a loss.
Got Hagan, German, and
May again.
Dumas as well. I'll tell you, there seemed to be a mix-up there for the Chiefs. Schultz had several mix-ups today. You don't know if it's the running back's fault or his fault. It's his job to control that offense, though.
A loss of 4 brings it 3rd and 14. Young checks back in for Piscataway. And Owens and Young will go wide right.
Okay, and watch Rico Owens.
Schultz drops straight back, looks to his right, throws it downfield for Young.
Wow!
What a almost a great catch.
I'll tell you, a tremendous effort.
Had his hand on it.
A tremendous effort there for the young fella.
And he was open.
So we got a 4th down here. The ball is on the 15-yard line.
And they'll go for it, of course. But that was Chris Young almost coming up with a spectacular play.
So 4th and 14.
They have to get the ball down to the 2.5 yard line to get the first down. And big play coming up for the East Brunswick secondary.
Piscataway has 3 receivers to the right side. Schultz drops back again, looks like a screen, and he's dropped by Lenny May. Who else?
Wow, great play by Lenny May. Came right on in on the right side.
Just an incredible game for the young man. And John, you have your little bit that we do every game. Outstanding player of the game. It's a little early yet, and there's been a lot of offensive firework, but it's going to be hard to look past the type of day Lenny May has had thus far.
And I want to refer back to that play before where you talked about the angle of tackling, where Richie Raylan, as it turns out, made a touchdown-saving tackle.
Good point.
Now Kilkenny back in at quarterback. We don't know what happened to Kolheim, but Kilkenny will start this offensive series for East Brunswick. 1st and 10, and we've got a flag, maybe a delay of game.
All right, I got the glasses on the sideline right now. Kolheim has his helmet, and I'm wondering if maybe he wasn't a little dizzy or something from that hit.
It's sort of like what happens if you ever have a
Offsides against East Brunswick. Excuse me, Phil.
Bump in a car accident. You don't feel it at first. You think you're okay, and then a little bit later you start to feel it there. And I imagine that's it. It's a latent effect that has probably affected Kolheim, and they decided to hold him out for a while.
So it'll make it 1st and 15, East Brunswick from their own 22-yard line.
Well, they are talking to Greg.
Bears on top.
Whoa.
Ball's up and free, and I think Piscataway's got it. Let's see.
Nope. 2nd down. I'm sorry. The official.
Now East Brunswick came up with it, fortunately.
All right.
And Kilkenny dropped it. He's saying it was his fault.
His fault, but he fortunately he got it back to him. A fine effort to get it back. But that's for, well, I won't call it a turnover, but
Ball's been on the ground a lot. You're right.
Now Kolheim creeps closer to to Marcus Borden. Wants to get him in his eyesight.
2nd and 16. Kilkenny keeps, looks to get to the outside. Still on his feet, and a flag is thrown. And we may have a hold against East Brunswick.
Legal block, probably.
okay, Mike Rowe in on the tackle there. The whole chief defense stringing it out.
It is an illegal block against the Bears, and that'll move him back further.
If I was Piscataway, I'd take this penalty, even though it's a really a very little yardage gain on the play.
And Kolheim is coming back in. Now Piscataway declines the penalty. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Bears. 3rd and 16. The ball sitting at their own 22-yard line. They're on top 14-7 here in the 3rd quarter. So Greg Kolheim comes back in. He's got Tangway wide right. And he's going to roll right. He's got some time. Looking. He's got Tangway.
Ooh.
That was a little early.
No, tell you, good timing.
Off the shoulder pads.
You got Teran Hunter with good timing there. Got there about the same time the ball did.
Okay, wouldn't have been a first down anyway. It would have been tackled for about 3 yards short of the first down.
So the Bears will punt it away.
I'll tell you what, one of the things that we noticed about Kolheim earlier with his passing is that he was a little high. That one was right on the money. That was just a great defensive play.
The thing about the Chiefs, though, I tell you, they may not be there initially, but their pursuit is so good that they know how to close down on the ball rather well.
3 deep backs for Piscataway on this punt. They're going to look for a run back.
Good snap. And a good punt.
Got to get down there on that coverage.
Hunter feels the ball.
Wow, terrific punt.
Dangerous play as the punt goes to the Piscataway 40.
I'll tell you, Hunter showed me a little something there. I thought it was going to bounce off his chest there. Caught it with nothing but hands while he's moving back.
Good punt by Fugaro. So Piscataway has their best field position of the afternoon to start a drive.
Still, East Brunswick got out of a deep hole there, I thought. Okay.
1st and 10 Chiefs from their own 41-yard line. Just under 6 minutes now remaining in the 3rd quarter. Scholes drops the ball.
I think, let's see, nope.
Recovered by Piscataway.
And you've got to wonder what the problem is there. I mean, you go through your reps. I mean, Piscataway has had an extra week to prepare for this game, so you get a lot of reps there. And to have the difficulty that they've been having with the exchange there, you got to wonder what's going on.
Ball recovered on the line of scrimmage, so it's 2nd and 10. 14-7 is our score. Bears on top. Scholes drops back, look down the middle. He's got a man. He's looking for Owens. And the ball hit the ground first.
Well, Owens tried to
I'll tell you, he tried
do a little
to,
acting job on that
certainly
one.
tried to influence the official. Did a nice effort by the young fellow there.
Ball was just not thrown properly.
Official right there, however.
It's one of the rare opportunities that Schultz has had some time to throw the ball.
East Brunswick's playing a man on defense.
I'll tell you, you're right, John. They're playing man-to-man, and I'm surprised the Chiefs aren't coming up with something short. They got the speedsters there. Maybe hit the guys short and let them work their magic after they catch the ball.
Well, just keep our eye on Lenny May now on this one.
3rd and 10.
Obvious passing situation. Whoops.
Schultz pulled away from center. That's a procedural call. And that'll move him back 5.
And Phil, I just keep on watching Lenny May on number 40 for Piscataway. He's just beating him around every time.
And Lenny May may be the reason for
the hiccuping right there?
For what's happening there in the middle of that line there.
So it'll make it 3rd and 15 as the ball moves back.
Matter of fact, I'm sure that's what the problem is. I mean,
Schultz is just wanting to get back
Schultz
out of that
wanting to
position.
get back, but you got to believe that Lenny May is influencing what's happening with the center there.
Ball sitting at the 36-yard line of Piscataway.
He's right on the nose there.
No. He's on the right side.
Okay, you're right.
Scholes drops again, looks to his right, has a man, that's Hunter. Hunter's got the reception and the first down.
Whoa, what a
Still
cut.
on his feet.
What a cut.
Hunter cuts up inside and is deep into East Brunswick territory.
There's a flag on top of it. But, gentlemen, that's what I'm talking about when I say throw short, let the speedsters work their magic. You just saw it happen right there.
May have a face mask against East Brunswick.
Yes, it
and
is.
That's the call. And that'll be from the spot of the foul.
Boy, that was a big play for Piscataway. They had a 3rd and long. And they worked that inside underneath pass.
Well, apparently Piscataway had a good halftime talk.
Well, they just sort of regrouped there now. Like I said, I think the offensive line has come out being a little more aggressive, but they're mixing up their play selection as well.
1st and 10 for the Chiefs at the Bears' 14-yard line. Owens to the right. Young wide left. Schultz gives it inside to Welcome, and he's nowhere to go.
And
Sean Daly was there first. Boy, Piscataway's been getting its yards in little bursts. Very little sustained effort.
Official timeout. Welcome a little slow there. Fixing his equipment.
Okay. And you might look for Chris Young or Rico Owens down in this territory here.
Clock showing 4 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Bears on top 14-7, but Piscataway has it. 2nd down, 12 to go.
Or Melvin Felton.
From the East Brunswick 16-yard line. Schultz, quick pitch to Welcome. Left side, he's got a hole, steps up, and gets close to the 10-yard line.
That was Lorenzo on the right side battling his blocker.
Bring up 4th down again.
And Deshaun Welcome, a 5'11", 175-pound junior. As I mentioned, their power runner, picked up some good yardage there.
Well, this is 2-down territory for Piscataway, no doubt. So,
I'm sorry, that was 2nd down. Let's bring up 3rd down now. Third and about 6. Ball sitting at the East Brunswick 11.
Whoops.
And we got procedure. Left tackle stood up for Piscataway.
Give Lorenzo credit for causing that left tackle, number 74 for Piscataway. Brian Ferguson to jumpstart. Lorenzo was baiting him.
So Piscataway will move back to the 16. It'll be 3rd and 11.
I tell you, just the type of plays that really hurt a team when you're in really good position there.
Agigobetosho was on Owens, one-on-one.
Schultz drops back, looks to his right, puts it up in the corner for Owens. He's got him.
Rico.
Touchdown, Piscataway.
Rico Owens.
Caught it.
Turned Aji around and made the reception for the score.
Just a fine job and a fine pass by Schultz. Jamie Schultz put in a nice touch on there, and you're right, turned Tim Agigobetosho around a little bit. Tim actually was playing pretty good defense there, but turned sort of slightly, and the ball was laid right there.
So we're an extra point away from another tie score.
Boy, this game is everything we thought it would be, huh?
2:50 showing on the clock, third quarter. And Piscataway is going to call a timeout.
Has to waste a timeout.
You got to wonder if they're going to go for two. I wouldn't see why, gentlemen. I mean, we've seen their kicker rather able. Still early in the game here. You go for the two and you miss it, you certainly put your team at a disadvantage. Of course, if you can make the two.
Well, Phil, let me ask you a question. If you're Marcus Borden, do you start to consider to go to a zone defense back there and get someone as a free safety to help out a little bit?
I don't know. They've had some time to see what Piscataway would bring here today, and that's what they've practiced for, John. And a
lot of pressure on those young guys.
A lot of pressure on it,
man
to man, you're right. But I tell you this, the Bears have one of the top secondaries themselves. This is one of the few secondaries that can match Piscataway's with speed for speed. So you got to respect your guys and feel they can do the job. As I mentioned, Tim Agigobetosho was really right there, just turned sort of slightly in a perfect pass and a fine catch.
So it looks like it will be a two-point try.
Now
they're going for the extra point.
Okay.
Owens will hold.
Got to wonder what the timeout was about.
Hollingsworth. And we may have a delay here.
No, it can't be.
Either that or someone moved. Dead ball foul, a procedure against Piscataway.
Oh, mercy.
That can mean a lot of things.
Well, you know, it just ruins your concentration. I mean, you call a timeout. I don't know why you call a timeout to kick the extra point unless you're doing something off it, and then you get a procedure penalty on top of that.
Well, extra points are always adventurous in high school, so this does
take a lot of time, too. All right, Hollingsworth will try it again. High snap. The kick is wide left.
You know,
boy, really important.
I'll tell you, if you're a coach, this is why coaches get gray hairs. You know, it should have been rather simple. You're going for the extra point there. There's some discussion about what you should do. You call a timeout. You get your team out of sync. They get a movement penalty, and they miss the extra point. And I tell you, if you're a coach, you're going to be thinking about that.
Especially if the score remains this way.
Mercy.
So that leaves it 14-13. Bears still on top. It's about 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Really, and East Brunswick, I think, has only had possession one time this whole quarter. So the ball has definitely been kept away from Kolheim. And he will not be, yes, he will. I'm sorry, he will be a D-back.
Jim, we mentioned East Brunswick really starting to get into the heart of their schedule now after this game.
Sure. Next week, I wouldn't say Edison is a breather, but the Eagles have been having their problems this year. They're 1-4, and that game will be at Edison next Friday night. And then the Bears will continue on the road at Saraville. I think we're going to bring you guys that game.
We will bring that game, yes.
And then they're back here at J. Doyle Stadium on November 12th with a game with Woodbridge, 1 p.m. start.
Owens, again, the short kick. Quan will field it at the 30, and the ball will be dead right there.
Okay, once again, choosing not to kick it to Kohlheim and giving the Bears pretty good field position.
Jim, I know invariably we always get into power points, but my guess is East Brunswick's in good shape thus far.
Well, actually not, because the opponents that they've played, Bishop R is a parochial team. They played Perth Amboy, which is a Group 3 team, if I remember correctly. North Brunswick is not a Group 4 team, and they play JP Stevens, which is a Group 4 team, but they haven't been able to accumulate a heck of a lot of points. At this point, I think they're like 6th in the rankings, but this could all change after this game.
Kohlheim looking, throws it deep for Aji Batosho.
Wow.
What a play by Young.
I'll tell you, Chris Young coming up and making a nice play there. The Bears come out in a wishbone formation, a formation that you'd ordinarily think they would run in, and they do a drop back pass there. Chris Young right on the ball there. Give him credit.
I can't tell you about that.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Bears. They have it at their own 31-yard line. 2:23 shown on the clock, 3rd quarter. They are in the lead, 14-13. Kohlheim has Tangway wide right. Gives it inside to to Sabatino, second back, and he's got the 1st down. Mark Sabatino coming back from some leg problems.
I'll tell you, Mark Sabatino's a fine runner. We haven't seen too much of him. It's been mostly Kohlheim and Sermonello, but as you can see, once the young man gets the opportunity, he makes the best of it.
He has his right ankle heavily taped, an injury he sustained in the first half. So it's 1st down, East Brunswick. Ball at their own 42. 2 minutes showing, 3rd quarter. Kohlheim keeps, follows his blockers.
There he goes.
There it is, it's a sprint.
Let's see if they can
Kohlheim
catch
and
him.
Welcome. Kohlheim
Whoa.
is pulled down by Welcome at the 20.
I'll tell you, Deshaun Welcome, not too many guys in Middlesex County would catch Greg Kohlheim once he gets that much yard step there. A fine move by Kohlheim, but give Deshaun Welcomes a little credit too for coming up with that touchdown saving tackle.
40 yards on the run. Makes it 1st and 10 East Brunswick from the 17-yard line. And Welcome was the last person there, Phil. East Brunswick now moving a little more up-tempo.
Take a look at the middle of that Piscataway line.
Quan, right side. Quan still on his feet. Matt Quan close to the goal line.
Phil, did you see the middle of that Piscataway line? I think it was about a 5-yard gap. They're just trying to defend those end runs and the receivers.
No doubt about it, Jim. I tell you this here, Quan again with a fine run there. The Bears mixing it up, doing a nice job mixing it up right now.
11 yards, another 1st down.
1st and goal for East Brunswick. So East Brunswick looking to respond to that touchdown Piscataway just scored.
No time for mistakes now.
Kohlheim.
That's Sermonello.
Sermonello fights his way. Touchdown, East Brunswick.
Last surge, got it.
That's just brute strength.
I'll tell you, you might as well call him the Power Ranger. We said it before, Sermonello is the strongest player on the East Brunswick team, and just carried a few people in right there.
Makes it 20-13, the Bears.
Now I got 2 leads for next week. Power Ranger. 4-yard run. And again, an extra point, crucial.
Bettis on with Klein to hold. Snap is good. Bettis gets it up. 21-13 East Brunswick. 1:01 in the 3rd quarter left.
And I'll tell you, the impressive thing about that is that the Bears apparently decide to come out and open it up. They used 4 different players on that drive there.
Now, you saw that important play there with Kohlheim breaking through.
Kohlheim breaking through obviously was the big play there. But the fact that they came out in a wishbone, tried to come up with the big pass play there, told you something right there that they're going to pull out all the stops.
Sure.
And they look rather loose right now.
Loose, and Kohlheim, 3 times he's carried the ball this afternoon. Twice he's gotten 40 yards on a run, and the other one was a 2-yard run. So he's up to 82 yards. Now, last week, he ran the ball once against J.P. Stevens for 34 yards and a touchdown. Quite frankly, Morton said to me that he could have had a career night against J.P. Stevens. They were giving him that option run all night. He had over 100 yards in his 3 previous games. And you can see what a tool, what a threat he is for East Brunswick.
All right, Bettis ready to kick it off. Line drive kick. Hunter will field it at the 15. Goes straight up the middle. And Hunter shows some strength as he crosses the 30.
Oh, a big defensive stand for East Brunswick now.
Okay, and I tell you, we got to see what the Chiefs are going to do here. I tell you, if they're going to do something, they got to assert themselves right now. Decent field position.
Well, we should point out Piscataway was favored coming into this game.
According to who?
Well, the Star Ledger anyway.
Okay.
And speaks to that issue of respect that Greg Kohlheim spoke of earlier.
Well, I'll mention that the Central Jersey Home News, 5 sports writers picked Piscataway on that one. So.
Welcome. Sidesteps a few.
If you go to the T&T, then 5 out of the 6 picked East Brunswick.
Okay. Let's just say there's a mixture of opinion out there as to who should have been favored in this game, but.
Well, we have 10 seconds and counting now to the end of the 3rd quarter.
But it's been a great game, just what we
it's
talked
a terrific
about.
game so far.
It's a game that's certainly not over at this juncture.
You know, you talk about all the good high school teams in New Jersey and all the conferences. You're looking at the GMC Red Division at its best because the quality of football that is being played on this field this afternoon is it's just a notch above what you might normally see in other high school games.
But kind of typical of the GMC Red, Jim.
Typical is exactly right. I saw last week, I saw Saraville play Woodbridge in a game where you mentioned Bilal King, the Saraville back, is lost for the year. But the hitting, the size of these players, it's astounding when you're down there on the side of the field watching them.
Well, we're ready to start the 4th and final quarter here from J. Doyle Field. The Bears on top, 21-13. Piscataway came in 3-1. East Brunswick came in 4-0. And it's been everything that we thought it would be.
I didn't bring the power ratings with me, but again, with Piscataway 3-1, East Brunswick 4-0, the winner of this game is going to accumulate so many power points that they could almost be in a comfortable position to qualify for a state playoff position. They really can.
Certainly, if the Bears win this game, I'd have to say they're looking pretty good.
Yes, they would.
2nd and 6 for Piscataway from their own 37-yard line. Trailing by 8. Schultz calling signals. And again, procedure against Piscataway.
Well, something happened there. Did that play ever get off?
Phil, timing is just not there.
Timing isn't there. And
okay, so it is an option penalty for East Brunswick, and they refuse it. Because that's the important point there.
And you hear that band really beating it up right now. They're a little happy. They're headed for the Meadowlands tomorrow, so should be an exciting time for them. But they need to cool it right now.
3rd and 6. Schultz looking to his right, puts it up in the air. He's got a man open. Hunter.
Wow.
Hunter has got Whalen, and Aji Patosho takes him down at the 20-yard line.
And I tell you, this kid, Jamie Schultz, is looking better as time goes on. Again, another touch pass. Hunter just ran under the pass, made a nice catch, cut towards the middle, and picked up good yardage.
I'll tell you who's tried to throw a block there was Rico Owens, and he's running off the field now with a limp.
But again, we talked about the speed of the defensive backs for both teams. You got Tim Aji Patosho coming back to get Hunter from behind. Hunter had to wait for the ball.
It gives Piscataway a 1st and 10 at the East Brunswick 23-yard line. 4th and final quarter. The Chiefs trail 21-13. Scholl's going to put it up again. And does, looking for Hunter. What a catch by Hunter. Taken down at the 15.
Terrific catch.
I'll tell you, and Joe Carani, when he was talking about Teran Hunter, he said he can do it all. Extremely quick and fast, cuts back well, and you have to stop him before he gets started. Comes up with a nice one-hand catch there.
And I'm looking at the Piscataway sidelines where Rico Owens is on the bench getting his foot examined.
It'll bring up 2nd and 2. Ball at the East Brunswick 15-yard line. And Piscataway showing some success with the passing game. They hand off inside to number 40, that's Corson. Nothing there.
Dave Corson, the large fullback, 6 feet, 205 pounds. They don't use him a whole lot, but tried to get him to pick up that first down right there. Stopped short.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 1.
And this may be the biggest down of the game for the Chiefs right now. Right here.
Well, certainly if they don't make it, they will go for it on 4th down. But you're right, though. This is an 8-point game.
Piscataway has Young to the right. And Felton, number 20, to the left. This is Welcome on the pitch. Trying to get outside to the right. Does turn the corner, puts a shoulder down and gets close to the goal line.
East Brunswick was not prepared for that.
More importantly, he has that first down.
1st and goal for the Chiefs.
Somebody blew a coverage on that one, I believe. He had a lot of room out there to angle.
Ball spotted at about the 1-yard line.
Well, interestingly enough, this is where Piscataway has had some problems with the short yardage situations, Phil.
Well, but I think you can see number 42, Deshaun Welcomes, right here. He's the power inside runner, smallish guy, but strong.
Schultz rolls left, throws over the middle, and incomplete. Looking for the tight end.
Surprise call.
They had Corson as the tight end. The pass was intended for him. So it'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Surprise call there, gentlemen?
No,
I'm
I'm not surprised because, I think they've been having problems running the ball on the short yardage situation. In other words, where East Brunswick is expecting the run.
You may see Welcomes this time, Phil. 2nd and goal. Welcomes. Sidesteps one tackler, is close, but he's not quite in.
I'll tell you, no signal, very close.
Right on the yard marker, just before the white chalk.
So it'll be 3rd down.
And you got two downs to come back with Deshaun Welcomes here.
Schultz brings him up. Quarterback sneak.
Looks like he's
in.
Yep. It's the best way to do it.
Okay, Jamie Schultz not taking any chances, taking it in himself, and we have a game.
21-19. We'll see what Piscataway does.
Got to go for 2.
Well, you're right. The one does nothing but keep you behind by a point.
Big play right here.
And they might come back with that same sweep that picked up that all-important first down before. With Welcomes going to the right. Let's see if it happens.
And timeout Piscataway. That's their 2nd.
That was a smart timeout. I think Schultz realized that East Brunswick had what the intended play was covered, so they want to talk about it. Still plenty of time left in this game, 8:20, but opportunities have been far and few between for some of these teams.
And you have a look, Joe Carani out there in the huddle, and Carani's been at Piscataway for 5 years now. He coached 9 years with the freshmen and has been a long-time assistant with the Chiefs, and so very familiar with the program. On the other side, you got Nick Spadafino, who's just done an outstanding job with his defense this year. Defense has been great.
can't say too much. They've done a nice job.
Well, you've said it all. So Piscataway getting ready to line up for a 2-point conversion.
Well, I see if Schultz can get some room, and then that is the question, because East Brunswick's been hot on his pursuit. I think he might be looking to see to a pass to either Owens.
Or I got to believe the sweep with Welcome.
Could be Young.
Well, here we go. We'll find out. This is to tie it. Here's the sweep with Welcome. And Welcome is not going to make it.
Denied.
Okay, apparently the defense thought it too. I think with that timeout, I'm sure that's what Nick Spadafino said. Look for Welcome on the sweep there. The Bears are right there.
Terrific defensive play.
And so East Brunswick will await the kickoff with a slim 2-point lead, 21-19.
And needless to say that this offensive series for the Bears will be important.
It's important,
if for nothing else, to maintain control of the ball.
But,
and the clock.
I'll tell you, let's not lose sight of it. It's been a fine game, though. Both sides of the ball.
Terrific.
We haven't seen a game like this in a long time.
Long time. That means as much as it does.
That's right. Well, we have really two stories here. The first half was kind of lethargic, marred by turnovers. The second half, it's been punch, counter punch, back and forth, both teams.
I tell you, I think both teams realize just how important this game is. I don't think we can understate that there. It keeps the certainly state playoff hopes alive for the Chiefs, keeps them in the hunt for the Red Division title as well, and keeps momentum going for the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Owens will tee it up for Piscataway. Back deep, and the sole return man is Kolheim. They've changed their kickoff coverage, as Owens has been kind of just pooching the ball. And he does it again. Kilkenny will field it at the 25 and go down there. So they are consistent in trying to keep it away from Greg Kolheim. And East Brunswick will have it 1st and 10.
And I tell you, you might, for a fan, might keep wondering why they're not kicking it, other than Kolheim's ability. Joe Karani's got great respect for Kolheim. He says he thinks he's a blue chipper. He thinks he's that good and that he's not going to let him beat him.
No, it'll be up to the blue chipper now to give East Brunswick some offensive thrust there. They need to get good ball control, get field position. They don't have it right now.
1st and 10 from the 25. Inside goes, I believe it was Quan. Let me see.
And you got Eric Bergman.
It was Sabatino, I'm sorry.
Who's at 42. Jason Brennerin on the tackle.
Sermonello's been awful quiet of late.
Yes, he has. He hasn't touched the ball this half.
Clock moving, 7:20 showing in the game.
Except for that touchdown run. Apologize. Whoops.
And we're going to have procedure against East Brunswick.
Fortunately, it was Dave Hagan, the right guard, that moved.
Not what you want.
A little over anxious.
So that'll move East Brunswick back 5 yards, bring up 2nd down and about 15. Kolheim calling signals. Keeps it, steps up.
There's Greg, whoa!
And hit at the 25-yard line.
We're going to give him 6 on that.
So it'll bring up a big 3rd down for East Brunswick.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Want to keep this drive alive and, more importantly, control that clock. 6:30 showing.
Okay, dangerous. You got you back to the end zone here. Dangerous.
Tangway comes wide right. Hunter will be on top of him, I'm sure. Kolheim keeps, rolls to the right, looking for Tangway. Looking, throws down the center of the field. Ball's up for grabs and knocked away.
I'll tell you, and let's give some credit there.
Yep, they were on him.
Rico Owens doing a nice job defensively.
So East Brunswick will have to punt.
And you have to point out, Tangway was the only receiver out on a pattern and had 3 Chiefs around him. So East Brunswick will have to give it up.
And kind of deep in their own territory they are right now.
You're right, Jim. The Chiefs could come out of this with good field position.
So Figaro is going to need to get another good punt off.
Good snap, Figaro.
Lots of time there if he wants it.
Gets it off. Hunter is going to take it on the run at the 45-yard line.
Smacked, almost.
Backs up a little bit and then is finally dropped just across midfield.
Yeah, they are across midfield. So the East Brunswick defense is going to have to come up big now.
And Rich Willen in on the tackle there. Hunter showing a little something, took a shot to the chest, bounced off and bounced to the outside to pick up 2 more yards.
Well, it's crunch time with 6 minutes left. Piscataway will have the ball. They trail 21-19.
Here we go.
Schultz has 2 receivers to the left. That's Owens and Young. He drops back, looks down the middle, throws it over the middle for Owens.
Mercy.
Touchdown, Piscataway.
Ajapatosho again was caught.
Rico Owens, his 3rd touchdown of the game. And look at him, he's excited there, and why not?
Ajapatosho man-on-man with Owens, and Owens ran right by him.
And I tell you, hush has come over the crowd here. Jamie Schultz again with a nice touch pass, led his receiver. Owens ran right to it and took off. Rico Owens, Mr. Versatility, does it all.
They give Piscataway credit. They had the matchup that they wanted there. Owens with that burst of speed. And also the Piscataway offensive line has given Schultz some time.
Schultz looks like a different quarterback this half, as Hollingsworth is on for the extra point and drills it through.
I'm curious as to why they did not go for 2 points on that, Phil, because that would have made it 27-21, and at least would have kept them in a 6-point situation.
Well, the Chiefs do take the lead, 26-21, with 5:38 showing on the clock. So Piscataway, who had the lead early on in the game, now regains that lead with 5 minutes and 38 seconds remaining.
Quick strike.
Good point. I'll tell you this, you said it, Jamie Schultz, this second half is a different quarterback. Looks rather poised. We've belabored the point that his timing with the center has been off and whatnot, but when he has gotten back there, he's laid the ball out there rather nicely. And in the one-on-one matches in the secondary, the Chiefs have come out on top this second half.
Well, East Brunswick again behind now. They were down 7-0 to start this game, and they're going to have to come from behind once more.
And Mr. Owens kicks it off. He does it all.
Well, I believe they have all 3 timeouts, Jim.
East Brunswick should have all 3 timeouts left.
So they have plenty of time. Owens will kick it. Kilkenny will take it at the 25. Kilkenny behind the wedge. Gets up close to the 40.
Better field position for the Bears this time.
And so East Brunswick will start from there, trailing 26-21.
I'll tell you, it's been a super game, but it's football time right now.
Yep.
We're going to see who's who. People call it gut check time. Might be a little early for it, but the Bears have got to come out on this series here and reestablish themselves. No questions asked.
Ideally, they want to score and use up that clock. Clock is running, 5:20 showing. Kolheim over center. Takes the snap, gives it to Quan. Quan trying to get to the outside. He's going to be dropped by Welcome.
I'll tell you, Deshaun Welcome coming up from his linebacker spot, making a good tackle.
Loose 2 on that.
I guess you could say he didn't put out the welcome mat.
No, you could say that. We wouldn't say that, but you certainly could say it if you want, Phil.
Oh, mercy.
God, after 11 years, you think it would get easy with you, but...
Clock's a factor now.
Well, a loss on that play. It's 2nd and 12. Sermonello goes in motion. Kolheim looks for Tangway, has him. A little pitch and ladder, it's ball's free. And Piscataway has it.
I'll tell you.
It was there, too. It was there.
The hook and ladder and the, well, gentlemen, we've seen what happened was Tangway had a defender on him and sort of shoved the ball out. Usually the hook and ladder is a little underhand scoop. And you're right, Jim, it was there, but the defender sort of disrupted it somewhat, and Tangway put a little more juice on it than was necessary, and the ball couldn't be handled. An unfortunate turnover right there for the Bears.
Well, and even more crucial now is they need to stop Piscataway to at least get another chance at the ball.
4 minutes showing on the clock. Piscataway now in control with the lead and the clock in their favor. Schultz, quick pitch.
Oh, he's got
Welcome. He's got the left side. It's a foot race. A flag is thrown as Welcome gets inside the 20.
What do we have here? This is a big flag.
That's usually a holding area. It may come back here.
They're indicating against Piscataway. It is a hold against the Chiefs.
It's big.
Solo moving back from the line of scrimmage. Or from the point of the foul, rather.
And I tell you, go back to Tangway there on that pitch there. Usually he gave a chest pass there. I think he gave the chest pass because he couldn't get his hands down underneath because the defender was there. Ordinarily,
sure,
you sort of scoop that to the outside runner. But because the defender was there, he sort of had to shove it out really quickly.
Maybe it would have been best to just hold on to the ball.
Might have been.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, with the penalty, it's 1st and 19 now, back on the 49. So Piscataway back in their own territory. But the clock is ticking inside of 4 minutes.
Whoa.
Hunter now to the left side. Goes out of bounds. That helps East Brunswick.
Lorenzo was tackled on that play.
Well, I tell you, and you got the East Brunswick bench up in the official's face right there. Sort of hit from the back there, but no call by the officials.
He only got 1 yard out of that. You're right. That stopped the clock, too, since he went out of bounds.
A little surprised they're running to the short side of the field.
Well, a little surprised they're going out of bounds.
Yeah.
Is the point. But when you're out there in the game and whatnot, unless you're told specifically, you're not really thinking about that. You're just playing ball.
Well, it certainly helps East Brunswick. Clock stopped at 3:49. 2nd and 16. They need 2 defensive plays here. Schultz looks to his right, puts it up. He's got his man. Owen again.
Mercy.
First down, Piscataway.
That was a terrific catch. It really was. Whalen had him lined up, and Owens kept the ball even after he was smacked.
I'll just tell you, I don't understand the call there. They got away with it, but that ball hung up there a little bit, and East Brunswick had some defenders around there. But Rico Owens once again showing fine hands.
Fine hands.
We talk about Sean LaVega from Perth Amboy and Jay Tangway from here, but Rico Owens has established himself as a premier receiver in the county here.
I'll tell you, if I were Marcus Borden, I want to check the inside the helmet of number 10 to see if it's the same kid who came out to start this game.
Right. Jamie Schultz, a different quarterback the second half.
Clock down to 3:15 and running. 1st and 10, Piscataway on the East Brunswick 27. And we're going to have movement there. Penalty against Piscataway.
Would stop the clock as well, I believe, or doesn't?
Clock will start on the snap.
Okay, hope the ref picks up that flag.
Declined by
the Bears. Delay of game.
Delay of game, that's interesting. Well, the delay of game, I believe the clock does not start on that penalty if they accept the delay of game.
You could be right, Jim. 3:08 showing. 1st and 15 for Piscataway. Pitch to Welcome. Left side, comes back across the grain, still on his feet as he gets to the 30-yard line.
And I tell you, Steve Germain comes up with the tackle there, but
And East Brunswick takes a timeout.
Deshaun Welcomes with a cutback there was looking to take one more step to take it all the way.
Well, East Brunswick 2 using one of its 3 timeouts probably was an intelligent decision now, 2:57. Piscataway has 12 yards, but boy, I'll tell you what, it's been a different second half for this team. I think personally they ought to put a net over Owens or have 2 or 3 guys around him because he's been, but Welcome is just as dangerous as his Turner.
That's right.
Excuse me, Hunter, I'm sorry.
I'll tell you this here, might be a good time to talk about, we talked about earlier about the fact that the playing field had been leveled with the injury of Bilal King from cerebral.
Yeah.
Obridge, we thought that they'd run through the season superhuman, and they've been brought back down to earth. And the fact of the matter, either one of these teams could be right in the thick of things, win or lose. Certainly for East Brunswick. If East Brunswick should lose this, certainly they have established, they talk about respect, they've certainly established that if that's what the fans are waiting for, and they're in a good position to do just about anything they want to. This has just been a tremendous game all the way around.
Clock showing 2:57. The Bears trailing 26-21. Piscataway has it 2nd and 12 from the East Brunswick 30. Schultz gives it to Welcome. Welcome stop at the line of scrimmage. East Brunswick will take another timeout. We'll stop the clock at 2:49.
And clearly the Bears hope to stop the Chiefs because they want that ball back. They need that ball back.
Well, they have 1 timeout remaining.
And if you're Joe Karani, you gotta be holding your breath and hoping that you hold on here. This is the team that started out 4-0 last year, and then, as he pointed out, ended up 3-2, and they had some tremendous players last year. I remember a young man by the name of Linder. I thought was one of
Ryan Linder. Yes.
Ryan Linder,
great defensive player,
a super player, and they had a super defensive team last year. Just couldn't get it together offensively. This year, they got an offense that seems to be doing it, and the defense is certainly coming around. If you're the Bears, on the other hand here, you do want to stop the Chiefs here. It's been a tremendous game. You want to stop the Chiefs here with about at least 2 minutes left in the game. Go into your 2-minute drill and take this game back.
Well, here we go.
2:49. Clock will start at the snap. 3rd and 11 for Piscataway. Schultz gives it to Welcome. He'll be short of the first down,
but
the clock will run. East Brunswick still has 1 timeout to burn.
Right. They will not use it.
And the clock will run. And we talked about the big down for the Chiefs a little while ago. This is the biggest down for the Bears right now.
4th and 11. Clock showing 2:20 and ticking.
Okay, biggest play of the game.
4th and 5, rather. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Boy, I'll tell you, they're using a lot of time here. Just got that play off.
Welcome will not get the first down, and East Brunswick will take over on offense with 2:05 showing and a timeout.
I'll tell you.
Curious play, huh, Phil?
A very curious play. When Mr. Welcome's been running the ends as he sees fit. You run the ends, you got more time. Maybe they were hoping to burst through there, but they needed to get that first down to keep possession of that ball there. And to run up the middle like that, a little surprising.
The clock starts, guys.
Here we go, 2 minutes showing. East Brunswick's last chance. Score is 26-21. The Bears trailing.
1 timeout left.
1st and 10 from the 21. They put 3 receivers to the right.
First time we've seen trips this year.
Kolheim looking, pumping, looking, throws it down the middle. Kilkenny, and the ball's knocked away by Hunter.
Good thing it was, because that was going right in Kilkenny's arms.
I'll tell you, Teran Hunter again coming up with a nice defensive play there, deflecting the ball.
Minute 42 showing. Plenty of time to work it down the field.
And it appears the Bears are going to open up their passing package right here. Tried to go for the big play on the first down here. They got to stick with passing at this juncture.
Piscataway defense spread.
2nd and 10. Owens sitting back as the center fielder. Over the middle.
Ooh. Whoa!
No flag.
No flag.
It's a little high on the pass.
Okay, 2 downs.
Fugaro, intended
Owens
receiver.
Down. Owens is down. I don't know whether it's a cramp or whether he re-injured that ankle.
What a game this young man has had this afternoon.
3 touchdowns. 81 yards, 19 yards, and 49 yards.
Well, you look at Rico Owens laying down there on the field, and he has done a yeoman's job today with 3 touchdowns. You look at Rico, and you think about when you look at opposing teams, some players you'd like to have play for you. I thought about that Ollie Hover for Perth Amboy. You could take him and put him in any position and let him play for you, and Rico Owens is one of those type players as well.
Well, I'm not sure what they're looking at the ankle on one side, and then they're looking at the cramps on the other side. So he's got a couple of problems here.
If you go back to East Brunswick now, they're facing a 3rd and 10. They need the first down, obviously, to keep this drive going. They have a 1:38 to work with, plus a timeout.
And if I'm the Bears, I might come up with a rollout something for Kohlheim.
Yeah.
This way, if he sees something, he can take off and try to get that all-important first down.
That's right.
If not, he can put it up.
It's priority number 1 right now is to get the first down.
Exactly.
Owens is, see how he walks.
And he's up in the.
He's limping gingerly on that left leg of his.
I'll tell you, both sides of the field give him a hand.
And does create a little bit of a liability in the secondary for.
I might look for Dave
Piscataway.
I might look for Dave Kilkenny cutting in, sending.
What do we got here now?
Official timeout.
Well, he had his flag out momentarily, and then he put it back in, so they're discussing everything. Thought he was going to throw it for.
Okay.
Well, East Brunswick has 3 receivers to the right.
Look for Kilkenny cutting in the middle.
Piscataway in a prevent defense. Kohlheim rolling. He's going to take it. He's got to get out of bounds. Good block. He picks up from Tangway, and he's got the first down, and he stops the clock.
An awfully big play by the franchise player there. Greg Kohlheim coming out of the middle, not rolling out, stepping back, but stepping up, finding some room and picking up the first down.
And a 16-yard run by Kohlheim, which puts him over 100 yards, by the way, rushing.
1:30 showing. 1st and 10 East Brunswick at their own 37.
We thought about it, figure you got to do what you got to do to get the ball down the field.
Now they put 3 receivers to the left.
Right. Oh, I'm looking for Owens. He's not in the ball game.
Quick pass outside to Kilkenny. He's got a little block and some running room. Kilkenny's still on his feet.
Does he get out of bounds?
He's short of, yes, they say he stepped out,
well,
stops the clock.
No, they stop
Well,
the
stop
clock
it for the first down.
Right, so East Brunswick needs to get on the line right now.
First down into Piscataway territory.
And Dave Corson coming up with the tackle there.
1:22 showing. Clock starts.
There we go, it's running.
Kilkenny looking, 1:15. Looks, pumps, still looking. Rolls to his right. It's being chased. Puts it downfield.
Mercy.
He's got Kilkenny.
Oh.
Tangway can't hold on to it. Kilkenny was free behind the defensive
No doubt
back.
about it, John. I saw the same thing. I thought Greg Kohlheim saw him too.
Well,
Kilkenny out there by himself, and Kohlheim tried to get it to Tangway.
Boy, that was dangerously close from being over the line of scrimmage, I'll tell you what.
All right, 2nd and 10, 1:05.
I tell you, the home news had this the game of the week, and that's exactly what it's been. No matter what happens, a terribly exciting game.
And East Brunswick still has 1 timeout left, by the way.
They're on the Piscataway 46-yard line, 2nd and 10, 1:05. Kilkenny setting up the offense.
Owens back in the game.
Kilkenny, short drop, looks, rolls to his left, now rolls back to his right. He's going to throw it deep down the middle. Aji Patosho's there. And he waited a little long to come back on it.
A little long to come back, but when he did come back, he played defender there because they had number 2, Rico Owens, of all people, back out there on the field, ready to come up with a big interception. Tim Ajipocho came back and sort of broke it up.
3rd and 10 with 55 seconds showing.
And once again, Greg did a drop back pass.
Thought he had a lot of room to run, didn't you?
Instead of the rollout.
Yeah. And again, we're in a situation where East Brunswick needs to pick up a first down.
And get out of bounds as well. They still have a timeout. Kolheim, short drop, throws to the outside. He's got his man Fugaro.
And he's in
He's
bounds.
outside, out of bounds rather, stops the clock, but he's short of the first.
Right. 4th down play here coming up.
Okay.
Well, here's the game, gentlemen, as they say.
I thought it to waste it down there. I thought you really got to be moving down the field here.
4th down, about 5.
Well,
For the first.
Piscataway is giving them a lot of room. I'm surprised.
Kolheim.
Greg could run for it.
Got some protection. Now he throws it up for grabs.
Oh!
And Ajipocho going for it, and that should do it.
That's going to do it.
A fine effort by Tim. 3 Piscataway defenders around the ball, however.
Yep.
Well, when you roll, you cut the field in half, and Piscataway was there.
And that's going to do it right there. 42 seconds left. East Brunswick's not going to be able to stop the clock anymore.
Just a tremendous game.
16 times Kolheim threw the ball this afternoon, guys. Connecting on 6 of them. That's far and away. And most times he's passed the ball. But it's going to be a disappointing defeat for East Brunswick in the sense that they lose these PowerPoint opportunities, but by no stretch of the imagination are they out of it. This is a big hit for them, but there's some games coming up where, with Edison, Saraville, and Woodbridge, that they could get back into this.
Schultz will go down to one knee, and East Brunswick will take a timeout, their last timeout.
And I tell you, this is a big victory, certainly for the Piscataway Chiefs. Joe Caron, you talked about this game. He knew it was an important game. As we said, it's important for the Red Division, important for the states. And he feels if his team could get past this game, they'd be on a roll. Same for the Bears here. On the other side, I don't think it puts the Bears out. I think the Bears have played a fine game. They came in here undefeated. Certainly put up a fine performance today. They have to meet, I think, Edison next.
Yes, they do. They will be at Edison next Friday night.
Edison, I think, Saraville after that, Woodbridge, and
well, Phil, you mentioned earlier that we've started this Channel 8 Player of the Game, and despite the scoreboard, I think we need to take our vote. I certainly feel like you do, that Lenny May has just had an outstanding game today.
No doubt about it.
So with 38 seconds showing, and East Brunswick out of timeouts, that should do it. Piscataway with a comeback victory. And it's going to spoil somewhat the homecoming today here at J. Doyle Stadium as the clock down to 20 seconds. But it was everything we thought it would be. 2 outstanding teams in the GMC Red Division going head-to-head. And a resurgence by this Piscataway team this second half.
That'll do it right there. Real nice win for the Chiefs. They really did a job by coming back, and give a lot of credit to number 2, Rico Owens, and that quarterback, Jamie Schultz.
So our final is Piscataway 26, East Brunswick 21.
Well, okay, so let's look at this in retrospect now. East Brunswick with their first loss of the season, 4-1. They're on 4-1 right now. They've got games coming up at Edison, a game that they should win. The Eagles are on an off year. They're 1-4. Looming bigger probably is a game at Saraville. Actually, it's the Saraville team that beat Piscataway 13-0.
Right.
So the Bears find themselves in a two crucial road game situations, and that will bring us probably back to an even more crucial game against Woodbridge on November 12th.
Well, before you move on to that, Jim, I think with that Sayreville game, the thing that what we found out today is with the type of balance that the Bears have, they can play with Sayreville, they can beat Sayreville.
Without a doubt.
The game that scares me really is the Woodbridge game, because I think Woodbridge, we know they're going to be up for Old Bridge when they get to play them, and that's later on after the states are picked and so forth. But the Woodbridge is, from what I understand, is a tough team, and
they're physical,
and nobody seems to be talking about them, as one of the very solid teams in the area.
We'll take first games first here, and Edison's first, and then Sayreville will come next.
And we'll be back with you that November 4th evening for that Sayreville game at Sayreville. And until then, for Phil Hill and Jim Allinder, I'm John Meggiolaro saying thanks for being with us.